welcome to the Spirit Smith and Messages Shared. I'm Carrie Smith Blacker, and I invite you to join me tonight for this heart-wrenching and sad tale. The spirit who is with me tonight I will call W. She will tell her story through me, and she hopes that someone will hear her story and will be able to solve what happened to her. When I first heard from W, I actually thought that she was a man who went by the name Don, with black hair and who owned a white delivery truck. I soon learned, though, through meditation, that this man was actually the cause of W's story, and he was not a good man. I also learned that his name was not actually Don. It was the name that he gave, but it was not his actual name. In meditation, W showed me the beautiful landscape of Cape Cod. I'd been there several times in my childhood, so I recognized it immediately, and I knew exactly where she was showing me. Then I saw the image of a young lady who W tells me was her at the age of 15, the day she was at the beach. She was there with her friends. She was wearing a 1950s style one-piece bathing suit with a scarf tied on her head, and I think she had sunglasses on. She and her friends were waiting at a little snack shack by the beach. Her friend's food came up and it was ready. There was a big group of them there. And hers was the only order that didn't come up. She had ordered fried clams, and her order was going to be another moment or two. She told her friends to go ahead, and she would wait for her food, and she would catch up with them. And so they went back to the beach where they had all their beach towels, and they had different things to play with, a beach ball and that kind of thing. And sadly, this was the last time W saw her friends, and it was the last time her friends saw her. I've had a terrible pain in my head for the past several days. I thought it might have been due to multiple different things. And it was across the front and then all around the back. And I now know that this pain, especially in the back of my head, was pain that W felt on that awful day. As she was waiting for her food, there were many people, milling around her waiting for their food the same as she was. You could smell this deep, delicious fried clam smell. And she felt someone just tap her on the shoulder, and she turned around, and she saw a young man with black hair, and he had kind of a handsome grin. She thought he was kind of good looking. And we now know that this was the man going by the name Don, and he told her an odd story about how he needed her to help her get something out of his truck that he had to deliver to the snack shack. And he said that the door on the back of his truck was broken, and could she please just come and hold it open while he got out the supplies for the snack shack. He was parked just a few feet away from where the crowd was, and Dawn assured W that if she was waiting for her name or number, I'm not sure what the system was, but waiting to hear that her order was ready, she would easily be able to hear them from the truck. And as she was a fairly outgoing personality, she agreed to help him, and he did have a cute smile. When she got back to the truck, she suddenly felt a sharp pain in her head, and everything went absolutely dark. When she woke up, she was inside the delivery truck, and it was very hot. She could hardly breathe. Her head hurt, and she could hear the engine roaring, and she felt all the bumps of the truck as they drove. And she had no idea whether she'd been out for, unconscious for 2 minutes or 2 hours. Her head really hurt. Her stomach, she felt sick to her stomach. And she could just faintly hear music. She thought it was a song by the Four Aces, maybe. It was one of her favorite songs. Suddenly the truck stopped and the engine turned off and the music stopped. And the back door of the truck opened and the sunlight was so bright shining in that she could hardly see, but she could see just the outline of a person. And she could still smell the seashore, so she knew that the shadow of the person she could see was probably this Dawn person. And she tells me she screamed, but there was no one around to hear her. The story makes me cry every time she has me go through it with her. And this is where she chose to leave the story. What she did tell me from this point forward was that she is still at the seashore where he took her. She has been there now for 71 years. No one has ever found her. There's rock all around her, and she can hear birds and smell seaweed from where she lay. The roar of the ocean is constant. Her message to the world tonight is that she would really like to be found. She would like the mystery of what happened to her solved. Her parents are now on the other side with her, so for them the mystery is solved. But for the others, the mystery remains. She also tells me that there are others, she calls them the others, are there with her in this place where she's been resting for 71 years. The police and her friends searched endlessly for her, but it was to no avail. I actually thought really long and hard about posting W's story. However, I was reminded that I asked for and agreed to post spirit stories to help them in whatever way I could. So, with that being said, we have given you W's story tonight. This amazing, bubbly, beautiful young woman lost her life on the earth far too soon, and she deserves to be heard. So thank you, W, for sharing your story. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share our videos so that important stories like these, Spirit and I will still be able to continue to bring these forward to you. Thank you, everyone, for watching tonight. If you connect to W's story, please contact me and let me know. I wish you peace and happiness, everyone.